disappointing that most of the religious leaders reject the possibility of being in contact with God. Especially the Muslim scholars very strongly disapprove of the idea of a man not a prophet, not a messenger of God, and still he can be in contact with God, or he receives revelations upon his heart from God. They completely rules this out. And this creates a mammoth, humongous problem because people become disappointed, and if they are in pursuit of obtaining God's love and nearness, they shun the idea of practicing spirituality because they are told that you're a common man, you can never be in contact with God. This is not true. Especially, there is a YouTuber in Pakistan, Engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza. He's such a bad mouth, such an ignorant man. And he's very extremely and negatively bold. Now, number one, he says that Ali is Mawla. And then he says, after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there can be no ilham upon anyone. It's gone. So what will he do? What about ilm ladunni? What about intuitional guidance, inspirational guidance? What about God's authority when he says, وَمَن يُؤْمِن بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ? Now God is talking about guiding a common man, and this guidance will fall upon his heart. How the hell on earth can you say a man, common man, cannot be in contact with God? Always remember, if God wants to be in contact with a prophet or a messenger of God, so that contact, that conversation between the prophet and God is called wahi. Now, second, if God wants to be in contact with a non-prophet, non-messenger man, he wants to contact somebody who is not even a prophet or a messenger of God, is a common spiritual man. He does contact individuals. The only difference is that this conversation between a man and God is not known as wahi. It is known as ilham. So number one is wahi, number two is ilham, and number three is ilqa. It is the same thing. Wahi, ilham, ilqa is the same thing with a different title. Right? If God wants to be in contact with a common man who is not even a saint of God, he does contact a common man. And he receives ilqa. Now the difference is, if it is a prophet or a messenger of God, the knowledge descends upon his heart with letters which are made of light, made of nur, and they're very shiny, and they descend upon the heart. And it is always accompanied by Gabriel. so that there is no interference from the devil. However, if it is a saint of God, there still will be conversation between him and God, but it won't be accompanied by Gabriel. The ilham has many different classes. The most prominent form of ilham is exactly like wahi, in which letters writing from God will descend upon your heart, and those letters will pass through all your souls, and finally it will come out from your mouth. The third one is of common man. It's called ilqa. What is ilqa? Ilqa is neither a voice nor writing. A thought comes from God. You're sitting, or maybe you're playing cricket, or you're watching a movie, and suddenly a very powerful thought will cross your mind. The first thought that comes is from God. That's called ilqa. I hope you understand that. What you need, you see, it's like the Prophet has an iPhone and he can FaceTime God. Right? And a saint of God has an Android phone. And a common man has a Nokia phone, black text, no video calling, no fancy phones, nothing. That's what it is. I hope you understand that, do you?
RIAZ TV, the place to connect with God.